Namaskar. Ganesh Chaturthi is around the corner, and Ganapati actually marks the beginning of a long festive season in our country. Every corner of the country will be having celebrations in one form or another. Ganapati is always worshipped in the beginning. Pratham Pujan, Pratham Nimantran is the privilege given to Ganapati by Lord Mahadev. So it is but natural that the festival season also starts with Ganapati's arrival. We bring Ganapati, we keep them at our homes, and then finally we bid adieu to them. We do Visarjan in nearby water bodies. But if we go and see the scene in these water bodies the next day, then it makes anybody sad. The statues are lying broken, they are lying in heaps of mud and trash, and it is something that will make anybody sad. And sometimes I have seen people feeling so sad that they say that we should not have brought Ganapati at home because this is not the purpose for which we brought him. We did not want to get him inserted like this. So can we do something to avoid this? Today we shall try to discuss. Namaskar. I am Dr. Gupta. This is our YouTube channel, Ask Dr. Gupta. On this channel, we shall be discussing the various aspects of life, various problems that come across in daily lives. We shall be discussing disease also because I am a doctor. And since I am a cancer specialist, so we will naturally be discussing during our subsequent discussions the cancers also. But today we shall be discussing the festival of Ganapati that is coming to us in a very short time. Ganapati Maharaj is going to come. So how we can ensure that there is no disrespect to Ganapati, there is no disrespect to the murtis that are actually Swarup of Prabhu Ganapati. Ganapati Chaturthi, as we know, Ganesh Chaturthi, it is taken as Janam Divas of Lord Ganesh. Bhadrapad month of the Hindu calendar, Shukla Paksh Chaturthi is taken as the date when Ganapati was born. We bring Bal Ganesh to our homes on this day, and on the 11th day after this, on Anant Chaturdashi, Bhagwan Ganapati leaves for his divine abode to Kailash Parvat. Let us understand one thing, that Visarjan does not mean that we are washing our hands off the Satkar of Ganapati. No, we are not tired of serving Ganapati. Ganapati actually leaves for Kailash, which is his divine abode. Ganapati comes with a lot of love, with a lot of noise, and is nurtured at home with a lot of affection. But we all know that what happens the next day. We have seen it in many forms on many platforms. We shall today discuss that how we can avoid this disrespect to Prabhu. Now one by one, the arrival. We are so attached to our Prabhu, we have so much respect that if Prabhu is coming and it is raining, then we put umbrella on it, that the Prabhu should not get wet in rains. A child is hugging Ganapati so tightly as if Ganapati might run if it is let loose. And Prabhu's murti, even by adults, by senior person, as you can see here, is brought on the head. And here we can see the whole team is so happy, so enthusiastic. They are wearing caps which are having Ganapati Bappa Morya written on this. They are so happy that they are taking Ganapati along. When the statue, the idol, the murti reaches home, then they are kept with utmost respect. Akhand Jyoti, garlands, flowers, sweets, everything is offered. We know that the murtis do not consume anything physically, but it is the feeling, our feelings that reach the Prabhu. So we offer everything, whatever we have. If there is a lot of attachment, there is a lot of happiness. And for children, it is just like another child coming to their family, and they can be seen playing with Ganapati right from the beginning until the Ganapati Murti goes back. Affection overflows. This photo was shared by All India Radio on the time of COVID. And as you can see that Prabhu should not get COVID infection, so a mask is being put on his face. We can see a child here trying to talk to Prabhu. Even this squirrel is seen trying to talk to Prabhu. So there is affection everywhere. There is happiness everywhere. When it is time for Ganapati to go, then this kind of scenes are not uncommon. Not only children, but we can see adults also having their eyes moist because a child that was in their homes for last 11 days is now going back and will come back after 1 year. So this is the affection. The statues, the murtis, they are sent with a lot of celebration. The statue is taken on our head, and then finally it is immersed in deep water. Ganapati is brought in lap, returns on our head. But what happens after this will make anybody sad. As you can see here, that these murtis are lying broken in the heap of trash. This is something that will make anybody sad. You can imagine the same murti that was in your home wearing garlands, eating laddus, having Akhand Jyoti around it all the time, is now lying broken in mud. This is something unfortunate. This photo was shared by All India Radio News where the elephants were garlanding the murti of Bhagwan Ganesh. But the same murtis are now being flushed out from river Yamuna in Delhi the next day after Ganapati Visarjan. They are being fished out from here. And as we can see, there is a big heap of trash and Ganapati statues are sitting next to it. Very unfortunate situation. This press cutting is from last year from Times of India Goa edition, where many murtis of Ganapati were washed off by the sea and thrown out. Some sane person had actually collected all of them and they were put in a temple. But this is an unfortunate situation. We should also remember that Visarjan should be done with full respect. This video had gone viral last year on internet where Ganpati murtis were being dropped in water on a conveyor. I used the word dropped because this is probably not Visarjan. The people who have done this must be having their own reasons, their own justifications, but the fact remains that this is not with a lot of respect because all the murtis will be falling one over the other. And when the next murti drops down, it will be breaking itself and will also be breaking the previous statue lying underneath. So this is something that should be avoided. We have also seen some videos and some photos where the murtis were being thrown away into water from the bridges. So this is something that should not be done. My suggestions, the purpose for this discussion is that how we can avoid this. We have to remember that plaster of Paris is one material that sea or river and other water bodies do not like. This is thrown out. Many people have a misconception that plaster of Paris is just like clay. It will only take some longer time to get dissolved. This is actually incorrect. The fact is that plaster of Paris is like cement. It will not get dissolved. It will be lying there. So we should say no to plaster of Paris Ganapatis because they will lie there, they will get broken, and maybe after a year, after a couple of years, whenever the water body is cleaned, these Ganapatis will come out broken and will be thrown in trash. So disrespect will happen. This is the picture of my Ganapati at my home last year. I got this Ganapati right from the person, from the craftsman, when it was made of a wet clay. I just asked him to make ear, nose and a little bit of decoration on this. And I know that the moment it is put in water, within next 15 minutes, this will be completely dissolved and will become part of the water that it is flowing in. Visarjan should preferably be done in flowing water instead of stagnant water because flowing water will dissolve a murti faster than stagnant water. As far as possible, we should try that Visarjan is done in deep water because deep water will have less chances of the murti being thrown out in waves later on. One more thing, that Ganapati coming on Chaturthi and going back on Anant Chaturdashi means 11 days seva. So 11 days service is not mandatory. We should do as much as we can happily and comfortably do. Keeping Bappa at home for 11 days and not being able to pay attention is not good. Better option is to bring the murti and do Visarjan when we feel that yes, we could do this much, and we should not be apologetic about it. So we should offer maximum respect. We should have maximum celebration. The respect for Ganapati should be the fullest. And I hope that we all this year will ensure that we bring degradable, dissolvable Ganapatis. We can get the Ganapatis of wet clay, the raw clay from any person, who any craftsman. And remember one thing, that these clay statues may not always be dissolvable because the clay from which kullad is made is not getting dissolved in water. It is not going to get dissolved even after maybe 6 months or a year. We have clay pots from prehistoric times intact when they are dug out. So remember, if you bring a clay Ganapati which has been heated in furnace, then it will not get dissolved. So it should be raw clay, kachi mitti. And with these precautions, we should also ensure that when Ganapati Bappa is at our home, we offer fullest respect. Their Visarjan is done with full respect. And with all these precautions, we should celebrate. And please say with me, Ganapati Bappa Morya.